Here to talk about the Masters, our friend from Predator Ridge up in Vernon. Man, it's beautiful up there. I miss it. Is Dick Zokol, who, of course, has played at the Masters. How are you, Dick?
I'm good, boys. Hey, congratulations on the Donnie and Dollywall gig. Wonderful.
No,
Thank you so much, Dick. Thank you so much.
Hey,
You bet.
you played at the Masters, Dick. Do you remember the emotions you felt going
Oh.
into the first time you played there?
Yeah, overwhelming. It's the biggest hurdle to get through is because it's every golfer's dream, aspiring professional to play in the Masters and dream about it since you were a little boy. Once you get there, and because of the nature of golf, you're overwhelmed and with just the fact that you're there and experiencing it for your first time, and you really have to, if you want to play well, you have to kind of get over it, and it's very difficult to do it, and it's such a mental thing, but yeah, very overwhelming is the best way to put it.
What is it about that course that doesn't come through when you're watching the broadcast?
The elevation. As soon as you walk on the property, your jaw hits the ground on how the elevation changes from at the top of the ground where the clubhouse is, where right around where the 18th green is, and the first tee, to all the way down to the 12th hole where Rays Creek, Amen Corner, in the golf course. It's like 200 feet down, and you can't really imagine and experience it until you actually see it, as how uphill the 18th hole is. So that blows you away from your first aspect, and then how perfectly manicured people go. Like they get right down on their knees to look at the grass, and they can't believe it's real grass. How immaculate the whole place is in. So those are the big things.
TSN did a good piece on the 13th hole, par 5. I think I've got that right. And the challenges presented by that 13th hole. This was earlier this week. A really good piece on how difficult it is and how things have changed there. What can you tell us about that, Dick?
Well, the hole's been it's just such a remarkable par 5, and the trees on the left have grown up. Back in the day when Sam Snead was playing it, he could drive it over the corner, but he would always give the young guys, when I was young, I used to just blow it right over the trees, and these guys would try it, and they go and in modern day and hit the trees. And how the hell would you do it? And you'd say, well, those trees were about 5 feet tall when I played. But it's a big dog leg. It's a wonderful pivot hole where you can make eagle real easy or bogey real easy. So it's very pivotal, depending on how successful you are in hitting a good tee shot around the corner.
Richard, we were talking about it before we got you on the air. Bryson DeChambeau. What are your thoughts on him? And, I mean, what do you see when you see him and the speed on the swing and hitting it as far as he does? What are your thoughts on him?
Well, I've done a 180 on him. I thought when he went into the U.S. Open at Winged Foot last year, I thought, well, go ahead and let's see what happens, and didn't think he was going to do that well. But now keep in mind, everyone talks about how wonderful, and how far he hits it because of the clubhead speed that he delivers to the golf ball. But what they really underestimate him and how good a putter he is, and how he was at the U.S. Open. So if he's putting, I think he's unstoppable because he has the length with the driver. He's extremely accurate compared to how hard you hit it. Because most people, when you bring that much power to the golf ball, you exponentially drive it deeper into the woods, and he's very accurate off the tee. So love what he's doing. He's bringing out a prototype driver that he's been a little secretive. And so we're going to see what he's going to do. It could be something remarkable, but he's an anomaly, and he's great for the game.
Richard, so the Masters in November had no fans. They are going to allow a limited number of patrons in this week. We don't know the number yet. But for me, the galleries are a big part of watching golf on television. Can you talk a little bit about this past year and how tough it has been for golfers without fans at the course?
Well, yeah, there's no question about that, Rick. It just seems like soulless without fans, and we watch in hockey, and golf is the exact same way. First of all, we're just glad to be able to play, and golf is doing such a great job with given the COVID situation. But now that the fans are starting to come back, it just helps out so much more on the emotional side and momentum side for the players, and it just makes it wonderful for us watchers on television now, because it just, when someone makes a putt and there's no roar to go with it, it just seems empty, and but we're moving in the right direction.
Hey, Dick, depending on the personalities involved, do you think some of the golfers, and look, I realize it's a business, you have to have patrons, you have to have customers. Do you think some of the golfers liked not playing in front of people?
Well, I think a couple of the younger guys who had yet to break into the top, the majors, I think it may have helped them, because playing in front of people and getting overexcited hurts you in golf. You can't, it's not like hockey where you can plow a guy harder into the boards and get a little pressure release and feel good about it. Golf, you have to, what are you going to do? Knock your 5-foot putt off the green? You can't do that. And so I think it helped a lot of guys in their process to get to the breakthrough and win. But ultimately, people, the players do want a large amount of people out there, even when they're throwing in those stupid comments like "get in the hole" or "mashed potatoes," or whatever. We just want people out there. I think it's important.
I don't mind that. I just wish they'd come up with something different.
No
Corey Connors had a share of the lead very early on. Dick, Mackenzie Hughes is there as well. I think he's at -2.
Minus one.
And Mike Weir is even as we speak. Which one of those three would be Canada's best chance? So which one of those three would finish first among Canadians?
Well, first of all, given that there's 3 Canadians in there and Mike's won it and Corey's experience and Mackenzie's playing as well, we've never had such a depth of Canadians that get into the hunt and can get into the hunt and perform. So, but I think Corey Connors' game is very strong. He played well there last November. He's a real cool customer, and he's feeling comfortable in these big events. Mackenzie is as well. So both of these guys are cool customers, and the golf course is playing so difficult right now. They're constantly talking about how fast and firm it is, and you can just look at the scores that they're not low. And this afternoon it's going to be a bugger out there. So I think Corey and it has the best chance to perform, but wouldn't be surprising to any of us if Mackenzie and even Mike played well enough to make the cut and get himself into contention.
Okay, Dustin Johnson back in November, defending champ. There's Justin Thomas. There's DeChambeau. Yep. The list goes on. Who do you like, Dick?
Well, I think Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth. Jordan with with his victory last weekend, he was trending for the past few months, but he wasn't being able to deliver the final knockout punch when he needed to, and he finally did that. Remarkable performance on the back nine for him to drive the ball into the right position and handle that. And he handled it so that it's a mental situation for him, and he handled it just so beautifully. It looked so effortless. So I think he's back in the mix, but I think Dustin Johnson and Justin Thomas, all these guys you can't pick the right guy. You just never know who's going to be on top of it in that moment dealing with these situations. But Justin Thomas and all these guys are going to be good. I hope it's a top leaderboard going into Sunday, and it's a dramatic finish.
We're going to try to get you on Monday too to talk about the final round of the Masters. And by the way, before we go, what's happening at Predator Ridge?
Well, we are launched our season. We opened up yesterday. Real estate is we're running out of inventory. We're moving on to our next subdivision. And one other thing, I got to let you know, I became a grandfather last
Oh my God!
Very
Congratulations!
Nice. Congratulations!
Isla Rose Zokol, my son Connor, and his significant other gave birth last Saturday. So delighted, over the moon at this, and everything's wonderful at Predator Ridge. We're launching a new season. Golf is booming, and come on out and experience our lovely community.
Well, it doesn't get better than that. Congrats, Dick, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Richard.
you so much.
Again, congratulations to
absolutely.
Dick Zokol.